Two manufacturers in our area have each announced hundreds of layoffs in the past couple of weeks.
Does this signal a shift in the economy after years now of employers not being able to find enough workers?
This morning we have a live interview with the state economist of Mississippi, Corey Miller.
Good morning, Mr. Miller. Thank you for joining us. So, what's happening? Are we seeing a shift away from a labor shortage to companies now laying off workers? What's going on?
I don't think we've seen a labor shortage or a shift from a labor shortage to layoffs for the economy overall. I think in some sectors like the furniture manufacturing, where demand has dropped, I think the officials with those companies have said they're responding to a decrease in demand. I think we've seen a shift from where we were in the pandemic, where people were buying a lot of stuff because they weren't going out as much. They were spending more time at home. And I think now that we're seeing people get out more and able to travel more, they're not spending as much on manufactured goods like furniture. And also we've seen increase in interest rates in recent months, which is slowing the housing market, and that's probably related to a decrease in the demand for furniture.
And overall, how would you describe Mississippi's economy?
I say our economy is growing. It has slowed. We are still adding jobs. We added jobs last month. Our total unemployment is just over 50,000 as of May. That's as low as it's ever been in data that go back to 1976. So we have a very tight labor market, just like the U.S. labor market. So I think we may be on the cusp of a recession, but we're not. I don't think we're there yet.
Okay. So now, with the hundreds of employee layoffs we've recently seen in our region, does that indicate anything about underlying issues, things that are coming with Mississippi's economy?
Well, I think it means we are slowing. And as I was saying, I think there are some industries like furniture manufacturing that have seen a slowdown. We have seen some industries that did very well in the pandemic have slowed. A lot of tech industries, for example, real estate is starting to slow.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think we're starting to see that as of yet. As the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates to fight inflation, and they say they're going to keep doing that until they get inflation down. I think we may see a slowing, and we'll probably see a slowing in hiring. But I don't know that we're going to see layoffs as of yet. Because in a lot of industries, especially the service sectors, it's been very difficult for firms to hire individuals. So they may be in some of those service sectors, especially, they may be more reluctant to let them go.
Yeah. We've talked with the president of the real estate agency and the Real Estate Association in the Golden Triangle the other day, and the housing market. The prices of homes these days are very high, something a lot of people have talked about recently. But are there other things that you've been hearing recently regarding layoffs or possible downsizing by other companies in Mississippi? You've mentioned a couple, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is what could be the reasoning for it being difficult to hire some people?
I think there have been a variety of reasons for that coming out of the pandemic. Some people left the labor force. People haven't decided to come back into the labor force yet because they were able to save money during the pandemic. And we also had a lot of federal assistance that came through during the pandemic. So people are able to kind of pick and choose where they want to go right now. So that makes it competition for workers more difficult. And I think it's definitely been a workers market. And I think that's the trends seem to be that's going to slow. But right now, I think it's still advantage to potential employees.
Now, as far as a recession right now, what are your thoughts on whether or not Mississippi and even the nation as a whole, are we headed towards one? Are we already in one? What do you say about that?
I don't think we're already in one. There are a few economists that say we are. And the reason for that is because the labor market has been so strong. It's just not consistent with the recessionary environment. The unemployment rate just came out again for last month, 3.6% for the U.S. It's 4% for Mississippi. As I mentioned, we have 50,000 people unemployed. That's the lowest we've ever seen. None of that is consistent with the recession at the moment. As the Fed continues to tighten interest rates, and when they've decided they're going to keep doing that until inflation or something else breaks. If they decide to do that, they usually do one thing like that. They're usually pretty good at it. So as we see higher interest rates, maybe by the beginning of 2023, we might see a mild recession next year. I think it will be relatively mild, again, because of the underlying strength of the labor market, and as well as individual income has been particularly strong over the past couple of years. So we may be on the edge of a recession, but I don't think we're there yet. And I don't think it will happen in 2022 at least. But if we get into 2023, the odds may be around 50-50 that we enter a recession.
Well, Mr. Miller, thank you so much for the time spent with us this morning.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.